providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Good morning, everyone. What a big weekend. Welcome here on Caregiver Crossing. We are so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time, Caregiver Crossing is a show brought to you by Joy's House, presented in partnership with Cardon and Associates. I mean, really, if it's not your first time, that's still who we are and what we do. But we are right here each week to talk about all things caregiving with you, and really created for those of us who are caregivers and those of us who one day will be, which is pretty much all of us. It's a big weekend. I had a wedding yesterday. My nephew got married.
Oh my gosh. Congrats to your nephew.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's the first of this next generation getting married, and it's really beautiful to see him and now his wife. And we've got, I think, 3 more weddings coming up in the next 6 weeks
up
or something.
In the summer weddings.
You know,
it's a great time.
It is, and all my friends' kids are starting to get married. You know, it's just that time of life. So what about you? Any big plans for this weekend or anything you've done so far?
I don't have any weddings coming up.
Are you doing the race?
I am. I'm going to the race. That's definitely a fun thing.
Well, we will get out of here on time.
Yes,
How about that?
I hope so.
Yeah. And so for the rest of you, we do want to give you some tips, and then we're going to share some of our experiences too. But I want to make sure that if the sun comes out today at the right moment, that we are doing the smart things. And even if it's not, there are some things that we can do as caregivers. If you're taking your loved one, you know, I would imagine you probably have some accommodations in order already, but make sure you're wearing your sunscreen, of course, even when it's cloudy, people. We can get sunburnt. We all know that. And that hearing protection is really important too, at any age. You know, I'm starting to see people with like their babies, even at
big
church.
Headphones on.
Yeah, they have headphones on at church, and it's really, I get it. And then make sure that you are hydrating. And by hydrating, we mean non-alcoholic, non-caffeinated beverages that hydrate you. So, you know, these are important things for us, whether it's today on race day. You know, hopefully everything's running today as it should be, but, you know, we just may.
Gonna have to see how things go.
That's right. It's moment to moment around here. But yeah, on any day, really, these are good for us. And so, Noah, in going to the race, is there anything nostalgic about it for you?
You know, actually, it's going to be my first time ever going to the race. I've been to the race before, but I've only been in the snake pit section.
Oh, Lordy B.
Yes.
Been there, done that, my friend. It's been a long time, but ooh.
I haven't been in a few years, but I'm really excited to actually be able to watch the race this time and not be stuck by a bunch of sweaty people.
Oh no, you're still going to be stuck by a bunch of sweaty people. But it does change your perspective. This is like the growing up moment, right? Yes. You know, for me, I used to go as a kid, and so there were all kinds of great memories there. And then when I was in my 20s, I also did a lot of the snake pit and, you know, the cheap seats and had a lot of fun with that. One of my favorite memories actually was going on a bus with a bunch of my friends, and it was, you know, this kind of a weekend where the rain was unpredictable and we got dumped on. I mean, dumped on. Half the people I were with lost their shoes because they just got stuck in, you know, like mud pits. But it was so much fun. And the memories from that weekend were really great. I probably don't pay as much attention to the cars as I should.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going around and around.
Tell that to them.
I'm just kidding. I love the Indy 500.
Yeah, it is a great weekend. It's a great weekend to be in Indy. I feel so proud of our city, and I hope those of you who are in town right now and hearing the show, or in our state, maybe you're in Evansville and listening to us. If you're in Illinois, we still love you too. Come on over. But you know, I do love that being in Indianapolis during the race weekend, there's such pride in the athleticism that's behind it, the intelligence, the build of the cars, the history, like all of that is just, it always feels like a good time to be a Hoosier.
It's so much fun to be there too. Just all the people just wanting to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's pretty awesome. Now, for those of you who are staying at home and you have someone that you're caring for, I highly recommend you do some nostalgia with them. Because if you have been in Indiana for any amount of time, you have heard the sound of the cars. And if nothing else, pull up on YouTube. You know, just Google Indy race sound and pull up the cars, and just that that sound of the, going around the track, like that nostalgia, and have conversations about that. And how fast do you think they're going? And, maybe watch the race together. And even if it's you're counting the number of, I don't even know, like cars you see that are red, or, there are some it seems very elementary, but some very engaging things that you can do with your loved one. Have some food, go and get some corn dogs really quick and have those in time for the race and do all the things. Do you have a favorite food or drink at the track?
I really love pretzels, and I'm a big fan of hot dogs. And actually, I read this fact. I'm not sure if this is totally true, but I read that if you lined up all the hot dogs sold at the Indy 500, they would wrap around the track 3 times.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If you lined up all of the hot dogs sold during the Indy 500, they would wrap around the track 3 times, 3 whole times. That is a lot of hot dogs.
There's so many hot dogs.
It's an egrigeous amount of hot dogs.
It's a huge track.
Yeah.
Okay, that's ridiculous. Hey, another thing we should mention to you that if, whether or not you can use this information this year or it's something in the future, you should know that the Indianapolis 500 does have assistant shuttles pick up and drop off at, there are, I think, 14 designated locations around the IMS property. There are some golf carts, some with wheelchair ramps, and they're utilizing these during major event days at IMS to help folks who are living with a disability, and they do that free of charge to take good care of you. So if you are going anywhere near the track and you end up needing some kind of help for whatever reason it is, do not be afraid to ask, an official there for some assistance, because they will take really good care of you. No, before we have to take a break, where can people find past episodes of Caregiver Crossing?
That is a great question. You can find past episodes of the show at caregivercrossingradio.org. And be sure to like and follow us on Facebook. If you'd like to connect with us to discuss show topics, or need help connecting with resources, have a question that you'd like for us to answer on air, or just want to say hey, you can reach us at 317-254-0828, or go ahead and email Tina at tina@joycehouse.org.
Yeah, and we really mean that. Email me, tina@joycehouse.org. We want to know what are some things you've learned from the show, or that you like, what's something you would like different, or maybe a guest that you've got in mind. We want to hear from you, and we want to make you happy. We want to make you the best caregiving version of yourself, and we're here for you. So again, tina@joycehouse.org. We are going to have to take a break. When we come back, we are going to have a very special guest, so don't go too far. You are listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joyce House. We are an adult day and caregiver support organization here in Indianapolis, located in Indianapolis and at the University of, I can't get my words right, in Broderville and at the University of Indianapolis. And we have exceptional adult day services and a lot of caregiver programs, this show included. And so at Joyce House, it's really important to us. We believe that everyone deserves to live their best life regardless of our abilities. And you can learn more about both of these sides of our mission by calling us at 317-254-0828, or you can visit us at joycehouse.org today. That web address again is joycehouse.org. Stick around. We will be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after this.
Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. We're your hosts. I'm Noah Taylor, and joining me today is...
I'm Tina McIntosh.
We have a very exciting episode today for you. We have the Executive Director of the Indiana Parkinson Foundation. Welcome, Kim Williams. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, guys.
We are extremely excited to talk about some of what the Indiana Parkinson Foundation does. Could you please tell the listeners a little bit more about the foundation and maybe your role?
Absolutely. So the Indiana Parkinson Foundation has been around since 2009, And we exist to come alongside those with Parkinson's and their families and provide valuable programs and services to improve their lives physically, mentally, and spiritually. We do this through our 3 pillars of exercise, encouragement, and education. And I am the executive director of the foundation. So I have the privilege of leading this organization and continuing to grow in order to meet the needs of those that we're serving in their best possible way.
And, for those who don't know what Parkinson's is, how do you explain that in very simple terms?
So Parkinson's is a neurodegenerative disease. It is actually the fastest growing in the world right now and is being diagnosed every 6 minutes. It affects the area of the brain called the substantia nigra. And by the time someone is diagnosed, they have about 50% of dopamine that you or I would have. And when the depletion of the dopamine, a neurotransmitter, continues to deplete, what happens is you start to have these motor and non-motor symptoms that affect the body. So for instance, the motor symptoms I talk about are physical symptoms such as a shuffling gait, lack of arm swing, issues with balance, issues with posture, maybe a tremor. And then some of the non-motor symptoms can include things like issues with sleep, constipation, anxiety, depression. Those are some of those that aren't so obvious to the eye, but can be just as debilitating as some of the physical.
So, Kim, I was just with someone the other day, and she had almost an involuntary movement, to her body. It really appeared to be coming more from her core, but it caught my attention. And she's got several of the things you were just talking about. She mentioned kind of in passing. And I said to a family member of hers, I said, I think it's time that she probably goes to see someone. And I thought neurologist, is that the right place? I mean, once you've gotten through your primary care, is that the natural place to go for Parkinson's or?
Yeah, I think that if you're talking to your primary care doctor and saying, hey, I'm concerned about A, B, and C, and your primary care doctor, feels it's appropriate to refer you to a neurologist, and then a neurologist or a movement disorder specialist. They're both good to go to for Parkinson's disease. Both can, help with the diagnosis and then the prescriptions for the medications and the ongoing of their medical care. And then hopefully from those resources, they're also getting information about other resources that can help them on a daily basis, like IPF.
Interesting. I really appreciate that. A movement disorder specialist is interesting to me. I don't know much about that specialty, but I can make some assumptions.
Yeah, it is basically you take the neurologist and they go back to school for a much longer time and take a deeper dive into those movement disorders.
Interesting. So what kinds of things do you all offer at the Indiana Parkinson Foundation? What do you offer for people living with the diagnosis?
Yeah, so we have our Climb exercise program, and this program is a comprehensive exercise program developed specific for Parkinson's disease. And it is also evidence-based, and it works to reduce the rigidity that can be caused by the disease. It also helps to increase range of motion and improve functional movement patterns. And this class is held in 9 locations around the state. And caregivers are invited to do it right alongside them. Some stay and do the class with them, and others, go run errands or do something for themselves. But it's a great community. They enjoy dance and yoga and strength and balance workouts, and all while focusing on those core pieces of our program that really help hone in on those Parkinson's symptoms and navigating them and making sure that you can, remain independent for as long as possible by moving, because with Parkinson's, exercise is medicine for sure.
Wow, that sounds like a really an amazing program. I think I might even have some fun doing that.
It is. It's a great opportunity for people to come together and, really, like I said, not only combat the disease, but, create relationships, which is really good for people with Parkinson's because they can become depressed and have anxiety and then start to isolate. And that can be a real struggle. And so, along with the climb, we have our support groups. We offer our support groups for those with the disease as well as their care partners. And we do those both in person and also virtually, so that if people have struggles getting to the in-person or they're not close enough, they can also do the virtual if that works for them. And then we also offer educational events and resources to help people in those areas specific to their journey as well.
Wow, that's so amazing that you guys really put an emphasis to take care of the caregivers as well. Are there any other things that your organization does to support caregivers in connecting healthcare professionals or maybe other experts for some additional guidance?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we are facilitating our support groups, first and foremost, when we're hearing what the caregivers are talking about in these support groups, it kind of helps us build our menu for those educational speakers to come in to those same groups and do talks on those areas that these caregivers are seeking. And so we offer those resources through the support groups, but also I mentioned we do these educational events, and when we have these educational events, they're free to those with Parkinson's and their families to come. They have lunch, they learn about Parkinson's therapies, but then we do a panel discussion. And the panel discussions are built up of local resources just for these families that are living with Parkinson's. So they may be resources like physical, speech, or occupational therapists. It might be people that do in-home health or adult day, like Joy's House. It could also be people that help people navigate the, finance areas, insurance areas, elder care, all of those different avenues that are not things that we want to worry about, but you don't want to be dealing with them in an emergency situation.
Oh, that's so
true.
So
we'd like to make sure. It's all too often that's what happens. And every time you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish they would have done this earlier. And so by hopefully connecting them earlier, at least it's in their thought process, and hopefully they do the planning and preventing that from happening,
All right, so here's the deal. We're going to ask you to stick around. We have more questions about some of those resources. And I also want you to be thinking about any tips that you would give to family caregivers as they're managing the day-to-day challenges of caring for somebody that they love, with Parkinson's. And so, but before we take this break, where is it that folks can learn more about the Indiana Parkinson Foundation?
So they can go to our website at indianaparkinson.org, and there's a lot of great information on all of our programs and services there. They can also call us at 317-550-5648. They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. And they can also email us at info@indianaparkinson.org. So those are all the ways that they can either research or get in contact with us.
Perfect. You are hearing the voice of Kim Williams, who's the executive director for the Indiana Parkinson Foundation. You can find them at indianaparkinson.org, and she's going to stick around. We'll be back here in just a moment with more of Caregiver Crossing. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. And we're here every Sunday to bring you support, education, and hopefully, often, a good laugh. Visit caregivercrossingradio.org to connect with us. You can also hear past episodes, and you can learn more about caregiver support resources in the community from Joy's House and others. That website again is caregivercrossingradio.org. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing here in just a moment. We're back on Caregiver Crossing. I am your host, Tina McIntosh, in the Joy's House studio with my friend. What's your name?
Noah Taylor.
I actually know your name, but I wanted you to say it. And we have, still joining us on the phone is the executive director of the Indiana Parkinson Foundation, Kim Williams. Kim, thanks for sticking around with us.
Absolutely.
So here's a question for you. And actually, before I ask the question, I want to say this. In the last segment, you told us that someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's every 6 minutes. I did not know that. I didn't know this was such a fast growing diagnosis. And do we know why that is?
I know that we're, being exposed more and more. I think people are paying more attention to their health. And I think, through research, we know more about the disease. So I think with the combination of all of those things, you have the perfect storm where more and more people are being diagnosed. I think that's probably, I think the earlier they can catch it, the better, so that people can, if they're not exercising, start right away, start talking to their doctors, making sure that they have a good rapport with their medical professionals, knowing how to use their portals for that open line of communication, and just really, getting all those ducks in a row so that as they, are on this journey, they're setting themselves up for, living their best life with Parkinson's, because it is not a death sentence. And so if we can help people to live their best lives on this journey, that's what we want to make sure to do.
Yeah, you just said a lot of really good things. One of them was use your portal to communicate with your medical professionals. And I have to tell you something, I wasn't that good about that until I'd say the last couple of years. And now it saves me so much time and headache that I can just send an email to someone at whatever specialist, it is, and they get back with me. And so I appreciate you saying that. And I think I need to hear that. And I'm sure a listener does too.
Absolutely.
And if you're not good at it, it's okay. It's not that hard. You can get good at it. I promise, because I did. Are there any specific tips or resources provided by, either the Indiana Parkinson Foundation or you to help caregivers as they're managing that day-to-day challenges of caring for someone living with Parkinson's?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, don't do it alone. That's for sure. Make sure that you're staying connected with friends and family. Make sure you're staying plugged into a support group. And, although, people might not like to think, oh, I'm going to a support group. That sounds, not fun, but it's more of a social gathering where people can just have real conversations, right? And again, the opportunity to create relationships and do things outside of the support group with these new friends that you have, because they actually learn from one another. Because one person may be struggling with something, and another person may have already been through it, and so they help each other with those different things that helped them or what didn't. So I encourage them to stay connected. I also encourage them to keep a journal, and not so much. I mean, I think it's great for you to journal, period. That's, very healthy. But I think a journal of just things you're noticing with your loved one is huge, because a lot of times, in the course of 6 months before you see your next, before you go back to the doctor, so much happens on a day-to-day basis that you forget what you really want to ask the doctor when you get in there. And so keeping a journal of those things that you want to talk to the doctor about the next time you're in or the next time you're on your portal, I think is a great way to, lessen your stress, about these different things that come up. The other thing that I would say, kind of in the same lines of don't do it alone, when you're struggling with something, reach out. That's what we're here for. So, for instance, whether they reach out to you at Joy's house or to us at IPF, we know local trusted resources, right? So they're not trying to go to the internet and find 15 different places that they may have no idea about, right? So I would say connect with a trusted resource to help you find those other resources that you need. Because, as we all have, that database of those trusted resources that we utilize all the time, or people that can help us connect, to those specialists and those important people that need to be, a part of our journey. So again, I think that those would be my top three.
I think that's great. Noah?
I think that's so important. And at Joyce House and at IPF, we really love this idea of staying connected and not having to go through it alone. I think it's so important to emphasize that aspect of community. And along with that, are there any specific upcoming events or workshops organized by the Indiana Parkinson Foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say we have a lot of different educational opportunities coming up, and they're kind of sprinkled all throughout the state so that, hopefully there's one that's coming close to you that you can put on your calendar and get signed up for. If any of them are events that anybody wants to attend, they can email us or call us at the information that I previously provided. We have an educational event up in Elkhart, Indiana on June 21st. Then we have one July 18th in Carmel at the Stratford. And then in August, we'll be in Lafayette. In September, down in Vincennes. So we have quite a bit coming up. And like I said, hopefully one of those will be close to home for most of your audience. But these are an opportunity to not only learn more about Parkinson's, but disease management, different therapies available for the disease, and then have lunch. Lunch is provided, it's free. And then, hear from local panelists that will be talking about how they help those with Parkinson's through their organizations, so that, when these people are leaving, they've had an opportunity to socialize, connect with others, have Q&A with a neurologist, but then also walk away with information on different resources that they may not have even realized exist, but they need.
Kim, we're so grateful for the work that you all do there at the Indiana Parkinson Foundation. And again, if people want to get a hold of you, what is that website address?
Sure. It's indianaparkinson.org is the website. And then they can email us at info@indianaparkinson.org, or they can call us at 317-550-5648.
Well, you're doing great work. You've been there for how long?
I've been there for almost 12 years now.
Incredible.
So it is. Yeah, it's been a huge blessing to be a part of this organization for that long. And I just, the minute I started there, I fell in love with the people. And that is what has kept me going for all these years.
Well, it's been, no pun intended on the Joyce House thing, but it has been a joy to watch you and to know you and to see the great work you're doing. So just keep it up, my friend. There's unfortunately, so much work to do. And fortunately, so many lives that you get to impact. So thank you for what you do and for joining us here today on Caregiver Crossing.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity and I love the work that you all do because, again, together we're stronger, and the more we can work together and help more people, that's what we're about.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. We are here every Sunday to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit caregivercrossingradio.org to connect with us, hear past episodes, learn more about caregiver support resources in the community, and much more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this with more Caregiver Crossing shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to Caregiver Crossing. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. We're your hosts. I'm Noah Taylor.
I'm Tina McIntosh.
And earlier we had on Kim Williams. Thank you so much for joining us. What a fantastic conversation to learn more about Parkinson's and all that they're doing in the Indiana Parkinson Foundation.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the every 6 minutes someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's.
That is incredible. That feels like
too much,
way
doesn't
too
it?
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm going to switch gears on us a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if you are looking for something that is heartwarming and fun-filled and really an impactful event, then we have something for you.
What is it?
It's our open house on June 12th.
Oh,
and so
gosh.
It's coming up. Mark your calendar, June 12th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And it's at our Broad Ripple location, Joy's House Broad Ripple location. And so It's open. It is open to the public. It's our opportunity to say thank you to people for supporting us. It's an opportunity for you to come in and learn about our services. And this can be your first one, yeah?
This is going to be my first one. I don't know if our listeners know this, but my little sister actually works for Joy's House. And
yes, she does.
So I've personally never been, but a lot of my family members have been, and they just love how much they love it so much.
So let's talk about this. We're going to have some food.
We're going to have some food.
Chick-fil-A.
I love Chick-fil-A.
Bricks.
Bricks ice cream. Cannot go wrong with some chicken and ice cream.
Yeah, and if you don't know Bricks, then I'm sorry. Come to the open house because then you will.
Yes.
Miniature horses with Agape Therapeutic Riding are going to be here. Mm-hmm. Some of the therapy dog teams from our friends at Pause and Think. We're going to have a mini concert from the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra members. And then there'll be some sampling of guest activities. And so if you wonder what it is we do here, we are not going to be able to throw all of it into 2 hours, but there'll be some samplings of that. And then certainly you can get to know more about our adult day and caregiver support services. And if you care about this kind of thing, come meet us.
Please come meet us. We'd love to see your face and love to hear that you're listening to Caregiver Crossing.
Yeah, so tell us. I mean, if you come in, just ask for Terry. Stacy should be here as well. So ask for Terry or Noah or myself. And let us know that you listen to the show. It means a lot to us. And I know, I listen to other shows and I'm not emailing or calling in or doing the things that I should to let that person know, like, this show means a lot to me. There are some shows I listen to every single day. And I know there are thousands of you that are listening every single weekend to Caregiver Crossing. And I do hear a lot of speaking engagements I go to, people will say like, oh, I listened to the show. And it does something to me and allows me then to do something for you as a listener. And so, please tell us that. We'd love to know.
Since we're talking about Joy's House, I am a little bit curious where we're at with our new caregiver support resource, Caregiver Way.
Okay, so Caregiver Way there's so much. When there's something that's so big, then people ask you and you're like, it's fine.
It's okay. I don't know if I want to talk about it.
How was your day? Good.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel. It is the potential for Caregiver Way is so big and the impact that we can have. And so we are in kind of that soft launch period. We do our really public launch July 1st, but people can still go to visit caregiverway.com and learn more about it. So again, visit caregiverway.com. And, or you can always go to the joyshouse.org website and find it there. But Caregiver Way is an online community for family caregivers. And so there's some self-awareness and reflective and assessment kind of aspect to it. There is kind of a Facebook-like component. So you have a community with other caregivers. It's really cool. That's not on yet, but it will be on soon. And then my favorite part, though, is the library. And so this is hundreds of pieces of content. Think about if Masterclass and TikTok had a baby.
Ooh.
So Masterclass and TikTok had a baby, right? Short form content. And what we mean by this, let me kind of back up. And you'll see a video online if you go to it. I get so tired of people saying to caregivers, just take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. Like, what kind of magic do you have if I just drink water and eat grains? And so what we're doing in Caregiver Way with these pieces of content is showing you, yes, the what you should be doing, but also the how. And there are 5 categories. So there's self-care. So how is it that you really take care of yourself as a caregiver? There is caring for your loved one. There's financial and legal. And in my head, every time I say it, I'm like, boo, hiss, boring. But it's important.
That is, yeah.
There's end of life. And then there's life after caregiving. And these are some things that people are not talking about. And if you go into that right now, if you go to visit caregiverway.com, you're going to see there's not as much in life after caregiving right now. It's not that there isn't good advice out there or tips or practical things, but people don't know how to talk about it yet. And so we want to be a part of, changing a lot of the conversation about caregiving and that journey of what that looks like. And so we would love nothing more than to have you as a listener submit content. And maybe it's about how you got through something. Go ahead.
What would be the best way for our listeners to submit content?
Okay, so here's what you can do. Just go ahead and email me, tina@joyshouse.org. We'll make it really easy and then get you hooked in. So email me, tina@joyshouse.org, or you can go to visit caregiverway.com, and then there's a contact me on there too. not just me, that goes to our team. But
That's the plural me.
Yeah, right. The global. But it's a really impactful tool for caregivers. And I cannot wait to hear the impact that it has on you as a listener and how we can make it even better. We want to help you be the best caregiving version of yourself possible. Mm-hmm. So thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Visit caregiverway.com. So I think that's it for now.
Yeah, I think so too.
And we will have some big announcements soon on some customers and partners. We just can't do that yet, but hang tight on that. So I know we need to go. Wrapping up the show, we do want to remind our listeners. We want to remind you that you can contact us for anything regarding caregiving, about the show, anything you want to see more of. Or less of, but be kind, to help you through the journey of caregiving. And so email me, tina@joyshouse.org, or you can always call us at 317-254-0828. And then before we go, I know we've got some people we want to thank.
Caregiver Crossing is supported by Cardon and Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Until next time, take good care of each other.